Jason, Hollis Farms this morning. Me and Pete got up and got a couple things done just right after daylight because the rain is coming in again. Ain't nothing we can do about it. We just got to make the best of it. We got plenty to do inside and out. I got a bunch of spraying that it's time to do this time of year, February. If it was dry, I'd love to do it in February right now, but it may be March. I may have to do it during turkey season. What I like to do is spray all my wheat and all the weeds and stuff that's coming up in my clover, so the clover can release when this warm weather, spring weather hits, and they get all the benefit out of the clover. One thing that I learned last year, you know, I planted the Durana. That's a perennial clover. Of course, it's supposed to last all year, and it does. We had really good luck. But one thing I noticed on my crimson, that is a clover that you plant every year. When I sprayed it last February, it made it last. Of course, we had quite a bit of rain. Looks like we're gonna have a little moisture this time. It made that crimson clover last about, I'd say, 5 to 7 weeks longer, maybe even some spots a little longer than it normally did. So I got at least a little over a month more grazing on that crimson before it checked out, because when them spring grasses and stuff start coming up, they kind of take over and they're taking a lot of the moisture and stuff away from the clover. So that worked out pretty good. But right now everything's been pretty cool, and most everything's ate back so bad, and we hadn't had a lot of sunshine, so the grasses, the wheat and the weeds and all hadn't taken over yet. So we're not behind as far as doing it. It's just going to happen at a little bit different time this year. But anyway, me and Pete's running the town, and I reckon we're going to end up over at the PRL Motorsports speed shop working on the modified. Just glad we got something we can do inside instead of just killing time. We got plenty to do. Alright, we'll be back. Let me show y'all something I ain't done in a long time. I mean, it's been a while. I went through Hardee's. Steak and cheese. Gotta give Pete a bite or two. Been losing quite a bit of weight. Didn't get any hash browns. And I'm just finishing the Dr. Pepper that I started this morning, so not doubling up on that. We trying, but it's tough. Alright, I'm going up in there again. Seats in, mounted, throttle, linkage, pedal, everything adjusted. We got the straps that go around your side on. Now we're working on these straps, shoulder straps that go over. And I shouldn't have ate that biscuit a while ago, because after I put this cushion in this seat, tight, very tight. Alright y'all, for all of y'all that's never been in the cockpit of the race car, we got 3 switches right here. We decided not to hook the accessory switch up. That was a little wiring problem we had the other day. I like when I cut the ignition on, lights come on, starter button there, and we had to wire it up because when you run the valves, I like to be able to bump it with the power off where it won't crank. Alright, starter switch, ignition, tack right here, oil pressure, water temperature, fuel pressure. This deal here is a brake bias adjuster where you can screw it in, run the brakes to the front, or screw it to the rear. Just a little adjustment that you can do while you're racing as the track slickens up, or if it's got moisture you need to go to the rear, help the car turn. Anyway, alright, this thing's got a collapsible steering wheel in it. That's gonna be the only thing we lack here in a minute. It's got 2 heims, one right here and one up under there, that are greasable for the steering shaft. That's pretty cool. Street stock doesn't have that, but it probably will shortly. Alright, on these transmissions that we run, it's a Brand transmission. You've got a, I'm trying to remember where they are. You've got a reverse, and then you've got high and low. And the way this thing operates, you put it in gear first, then you mash the clutch to make it go. It's right bass backwards of the way a regular highway car would be. Put it in gear first, mash the clutch to go, and then when you get out on the racetrack and get up to a certain RPM, a couple thousand RPMs or so, you just let off the clutch, jerk her back in high, and she is direct drive going down the chute then. So we are adjusting this little, I ain't never had any seat belts like this. This thing is pretty safe though. It's got a little ratchet down here that you ratchet yourself in. May not be able to get out when I get ratcheted in, but cockpit of the modified. All right, we have got the steering wheel adjusted. We are greasing the heims right here. It's got two of these. Will that thing get in here on this one? Hang on, cut this camera. Am I on? I don't know if I'm on it or not. Am I on it? Now I am.
Pushing this toward that belt.
Alright y'all, I made it out of the car. We are in setup mode now. We have got to set the bar length, get the J-bar right, which the J-bar keeps the rear end left and right. Got to set the pull bar, that's traction. Getting closer, getting closer. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Ready to get some numbers on this baby. That'll be the next few days. Man, I like this lift. We're gonna have to have one of these over at the Hollis Farm shop before it's done. Just makes it so much easier to get up under here and look and measure, and just nice. Alright y'all, we're getting to the fun part. Fixing to go on the ground. Time to put the speed on it. Alright, we got all the wheels and tires on it, a few measurements done. Putting the scales in it now. See what this thing weighs. We got lead in the seat to simulate me. I'm not going to tell y'all how much I weigh. It's not going to be the same for later. Coming together. Alright y'all, we're scaling, setting ride heights. Takes a little while to get these things, first car, new car, right. Kind of got to go round and round, lead, ride heights, J-bar length and everything before you finally get it right. But we're whacking it. Alright y'all, we got to raise back up in the air. Got to put a lot of lead on this baby. It's going to end up being close to 200 pounds. Got to get situated in this area is where we're going to put a lot of the lead. But it's coming together. It just takes time this first go around, getting her scaled out. Y'all, me and Pete made it back to the farm. Still raining. Hadn't done just a ton of filming today. Alright, hang on just a second, I'll be back. Alright, like I said, I hadn't done just a ton of filming today. Fooling with the car most all day. Done got down to some of this tedious stuff, mounting lead, and had some new lead we had to drill, and just takes time. Oh, it's been years since I put one of these cars together. They hadn't changed a lot. Brad had never fooled with one of these modifieds before. Not just a lot of difference, it's just when you got everything new and have to run here and there and get stuff to get everything right and put it together. We're just taking our time with all this rain. not gonna get the race too quick anyway, so we want it to be right, want it to sit down, and hopefully when it comes out of the box, she's flying. So that's the plan, but I am fixing to have to put a rain suit on and feed the horses and the mules and the dogs because it's gonna be dark before long. I'm hoping it'll slack up just a little bit where I can get everything fed, but anyway, if y'all like our stuff, subscribe to us, Hollis Farms. Hats, t-shirts, and stickers, hollisfarms.com. Appreciate y'all watching. Out of here.